Think about almost any nut you've ever eaten. An almond, a walnut, a peanut, they all grow safely tucked away inside a protective shell or husk. This diagram shows a standard walnut on the left, securely enclosed inside its layers. On the right is the cashew apple. Notice the actual cashew nut hanging entirely exposed, suspended from the bottom, completely outside the fruit. This strange anatomy creates an immediate problem. The colorful cashew apple spoils incredibly fast after ripening. Farmers have to pick the fruit by hand and immediately twist the nut off the bottom to save it. You can't just shake a cashew tree and bag up the harvest. That external growth means the nut requires hands-on, rapid separation from the fruit before its journey even begins. Even if you manage to pluck that fresh cashew right off the tree, you cannot eat it. A freshly picked cashew is essentially toxic. This microscopic cross-section of an uncracked cashew shell shows why. Between the tough outer casing and the inner edible kernel, there is a caustic, skin-irritating chemical oil trapped in this specific layer. If you try to crack that raw shell open with your bare hands, or bite into it, that chemical oil will cause severe skin irritation and burns. That biological defense mechanism is the main hurdle of cashew production. Turning a caustic, heavily armored seed into a safe snack requires a massive engineered pipeline. The first stop in a processing factory involves massive roasting ovens or high-pressure steam chambers. Subjecting the raw nuts to extreme heat solves two problems at once. The thermal process scientifically neutralizes the dangerous oil, while simultaneously softening the rigid outer shell. But even after the shell is softened and the chemical threat is neutralized, the kernel is still trapped inside a uniquely awkward, curved casing. While cracking machines exist, many factories still rely on the careful dexterity of skilled human workers. The irregular shape of the shell makes it incredibly difficult for machines to crack without crushing the nut inside. Extracting a whole kernel is a delicate operation with real economic consequences. A perfectly intact cashew commands premium market value, while a broken piece drops in price significantly. Every whole nut successfully pulled from a shell is a small triumph of labor. Escaping the shell isn't the end of the line. The kernel emerges covered in a stubborn, thin brown skin known as the testa, which is bitter and inedible. To remove it without damaging the nut, factories use highly controlled drying chambers to manipulate the kernel's physical properties. This diagram illustrates the process. As moisture evaporates from the white kernel, it marginally contracts. That tiny loss of volume forces the outer brown testa layer to detach and loosen. With the skin loosened, the peeling phase begins. A combination of gentle brushing and air pressure safely removes the testa, finally revealing the clean white kernel. The pristine cashew you buy at the store doesn't exist like that in nature. It is the end result of precise thermal manipulation and strict moisture control. Now, technology evaluates the harvest. Optical sorting machines scan the kernels at high speed, analyzing their exact color, size, and scanning for blemishes. This chart shows the global grading system. The economic value of a cashew scales up exponentially based on its physical completeness and size. Premium status is calculated mathematically by the exact number of flawless, whole nuts it takes to make a single pound. Before shipping, there is one final biochemical hurdle. Cashews contain natural internal oils that will quickly oxidize and turn rancid if exposed to standard air. Factories engineer a safe environment using specialized vacuum sealing and protective packaging. This locks out oxygen, preserving the flavor and the hard-earned value of the nuts for their long transit to global grocery stores. While the nuts travel the world, back at the farm, those vibrant cashew apples are put to use. They power entirely separate secondary industries. The fruit is processed into juices, jams, and even alcoholic beverages, resulting in a nearly zero waste harvest. A cashew is a triumph of agriculture, food science, and processing engineering. It starts as a hazardous anomaly dangling outside a fruit and survives extreme heat, precise extraction, and microscopic moisture control to become safe. Next time you grab a handful of trail mix, think about the complex global pipeline hiding inside every single nut. Let us know in the comments where you are watching from and what part of this journey surprised you the most.